And we are now live. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to this special live stream. I wasn't originally planning on doing this, but I figured since it's my birthday, why not just do a special live stream? So in case you don't know, I've started doing this new live stream show called the PeterSweden Live, the Viking News Show, where we go through all of the current events and the daily news and everything that's happening. So that will be happening several times a week. We will be doing that show. I haven't exactly figured out exactly what date and time it will happen. Well, it'll be happening around this time at the 10 or 11 p.m. Swedish time, which is, I don't know, whatever time zone you're in. But anyway, I thought I would be doing this extra live stream here today since it's my birthday. Why not? We have quite a lot of interesting news to talk about that happened in Sweden and Scandinavia, and actually around the world as well today. So again, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone, and let's get into it. Let's kick things off with a couple of news from Sweden. Why not? All right. So actually, no. Let's kick this off with some news from the UK, from the United Kingdom. There's been an interesting case of some new culturally enriching things happening in the UK. So let me just bring it up on screen here for you guys, so you know what I'm talking about. Just 1 second. Bear with me 1 second, and it's up on screen right about now. Yeah, so we have this new interesting thing happening in the UK now. A new culturally enriching thing here, I assume, called monkeypox, spreading in the UK for the first time. So it's for the first time ever, a contagious disease called monkeypox has been spreading now. A third case has been detected among a healthcare worker in Blackpool. Yeah, this is quite similar to smallpox, so it's quite a horrible disease, which is quite fatal. And let me just show you some more here. What it says that monkeypox is a virus that spreads through close contact and takes 16 days for symptoms to appear. Symptoms include fever, headaches, a rash that can form crusted blisters to appear. The disease is related to smallpox, though much milder. So it's milder than smallpox, but it is still dangerous. It was first identified in humans in 1970 in the Congo. Historically, it's been spread on the African continent through handling of infected monkeys. It's also thought that Gambian giant rats, squirrels, and other rodents are the likely source. Deaths have been recorded most commonly among the young. The World Health Organization reports that 1 in 10 cases are fatal. It's about 10% then. But most of these cases are with countries with undeveloped healthcare systems, though. This is quite interesting. So is this the kind of cultural enrichment that the politicians promised us, or is this what could be the reason? Why are these things now happening? Why are we getting these new things happening in Europe? And it's not only the UK. It's in Sweden as well. Actually, there's been some new cases of tuberculosis reported in Sweden. It's not a joke. You thought tuberculosis was gone, but apparently not. Tuberculosis is back in Sweden. So yeah, that's not really very fun. And I see here Steve Franson, by the way, the guy who's been co-hosting with me on previous live streams. I see he's in the chat as well. Thank you so much for joining here, Stephen. It says happy birthday. Well, thank you so much. You're competing with the Kavanaugh hearing. Yeah, I think I figure I am. So I guess most people are probably tuning into the Kavanaugh hearing, but if you're tuning in here, thank you so much. We'll talk a little bit about Kavanaugh as well in this live stream. I've been watching a little bit about that, so we'll talk about that as well. And thank you so much, everyone in the chat, by the way, who's wishing me happy birthday. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so that was the first story from the UK with this new diseases happening. And again, it's the same in Sweden. You got tuberculosis, and also we actually got I think it was last year in Sweden, we had quite a big spread of the measles in Sweden, especially amongst the people that weren't vaccinated, it seemed. So people from countries that, because everyone in Sweden, they get vaccinated for measles, but apparently people who weren't vaccinated were getting loads of measles in Sweden. And Yeah, you can figure are they Swedish or maybe not? Well, go figure. So that was the first story that I thought I would bring up here, and we have quite a few more stories as well going on. Well, I don't. Next story I have is quite horrible, to be honest. I don't really know if I want to talk about it, but okay, let's do it. I'm just bring it up on screen first so we can get a little, so you guys can understand what I'm talking about here. There we go. So we have a report here from Greece. A migrant has been arrested for slaughtering and eating a cat as a part of religious ritual in a Greek refugee camp. So this happened on the Greek island of Chios. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but the African migrant from Togo was arrested yesterday for slaughtering and roasting a cat inside a Vial refugee camp. His actions were videoed by other refugees who were eyewitnesses on the scene. Now, this story actually gets worse. The story gets worse. So the migrant was immediately arrested by the police in Greece, but during his arrest, NGO members from these NGO organizations tried to support him and help him to prevent his arrest. A few hours later, the Togolese migrant stated to the prosecutor, likely under NGO's guidance, that he found the cat dead in the first place and that he is suffering serious psychological problems. He's mentally ill, according to himself. So as a result, the perpetrator was released just a few hours later after having slaughtered and roasted and ate a cat. But it gets worse. It appears, according to Chios Press, the Greece newspaper, at the scene, they say that the same migrant have previously done the same thing to a dog as well. So he's also slaughtered and eaten a dog, and now he did it with a cat. But he was freed by the police because he claimed he was mentally ill. So he just did it because he was mentally ill. And then he's freed. And there is actually footage available of this horrible attack on the Chios Press's website, the newspaper in Greece, their own website. But I would probably not recommend watching that, and I'm definitely not going to show that on here on this stream. That's for sure. So yeah, we come to this place where now cats and dogs are in danger in Europe. I mean. I don't know. I don't like this. This is like I say, my dog. I had a Bernese mountain dog, and he actually died just about almost a month ago now. He was 10 years old, and he was old. He died of cancer, but he was very old. That breed usually get about 7 years on average, but he became 10 years old. So he was a very old dog. But when he went away, I was just like all tears. It was horrible. I can just imagine that these guys are just slaughtering them and killing them and eating them for fun. I mean, you have to be quite sick to do these kind of things. And I see the chat here is agreeing as well that they aren't too happy about that. And yeah, I think we're going to leave that topic and maybe go on to some better topics, which aren't as depressing. Yeah, but first, by the way, I just want to say, you might have seen the title here. This is a birthday stream, and because it's actually my 24th birthday today. It seems like time is going by quick nowadays. It just seems like just a few moments ago when I was barely 18 and I had my driver's license and out driving cars for the first time. It just seems like barely a moment ago, and all of a sudden now I'm in my mid-20s. It seems like time is really gone quickly the last few years. I don't know if it has to do with all the stuff happening, with Trump and all of the stuff happening in politics, and just being so busy working, trying to report on all stuff that's happening. Maybe that's why time's gone by quick. I don't know, but at least I'm 24 now, so there's nothing you can do about that. But yeah, let's get on to the next story, I think. Oh, I see we have someone in the chat here. Kurt, he says that he turned 38 on the 20th. Congratulations, Kurt. And, ooh, 38. Well, luckily that's it's a bit of a time for me until I hit that age. But let's be happy. And oh, by the way, you might be wondering of this this sweater that I have on me today. It's actually this is actually a Norwegian, a classic Norwegian sweater. I've actually been living in Norway now for roughly almost 1 year, and I'm kind of turning native. So I got this. It was actually a birthday present, and I got this. Well, I'll stand up so you can see more. This is a traditional Norwegian sweater with the traditional Norwegian patterns on it. So you see all of these patterns here. These are traditional Norwegian patterns. This is like pure Norwegian culture. All Norwegians, if you watch my stream, everyone will know about this sweater. So I finally got one of these classic sweaters, and I think, I'm not sure, but you see this thing on here. I'm not sure if that is silver or if that is just steel, but I think there's some designs that actually have real silver on them. I'm not too sure. If there's any Norwegian in the chat, let me know. But yeah, I kind of like this traditional. This is European culture. This is the kind of traditional European culture. This is a Norwegian patterns. I don't know. It's nice. It's much nicer than all this modern stuff. So this is the kind of European culture that you want to preserve. So I'm glad for this sweater, and yeah, let's at least I'm celebrating my 24th birthday in style. Anyway, let's get on to the next story. And by the way, thank you so much, Grant Johnston, for the super chat from the UK. It says, happy birthday. Have a drink, your supporters from the UK. Thank you so much for the super chat, Grant. I really appreciate it, and it helps keep me doing these live stream shows as well. So if you have any comments or any questions, if you use the super chat, I will read your question live on air. And I'm also going to do a little bit of a ask me anything on this live stream as well, since it's a special birthday stream. Ask me anything. I'll try and answer as many questions as I possibly can, and I will guaranteed read all super chats. So thank you so much for super chat. And by the way, I don't drink, Grant, but thank you anyway. I don't drink alcohol at all. I've never drinking alcohol. I prefer to stay sober, and but thank you so much. I have a cake. I'll stick with that. Thank you. All right. And I see we have a guy in the comments here, by the way, John. I think it's a Norwegian guy. He says it's an old tradition, this sweater in Norway. He used the Norwegian term here, genser. It's called genser in Norwegian. So there's a word for you. If you don't know Norwegian, genser is a Norwegian word for sweater. All right. Let's get on to our next story here. Let's head back to the UK. Let me just see if I can bring up an article on screen before I go any further. Just give me about 10 seconds. I'm just going to try and Google this at the same time. Just give me 10 seconds. Apologies, I didn't have it up to start with. Oh, here we go. Yes. Okay. Let me just bring it up on screen. So we have a story from the UK, of all places. When a dictionary definition becomes hate speech. This is the state we are in right now. So we had this billboard in the UK put up by actually a feminist blogger. So a feminist paid for this advertisement to be put up in the UK. I see we have a web address here, www.standingforwomen.com. So it's a feminist blogger, feminist activist who paid for this advertisement to be put up. And it shows the dictionary definition of a woman. Woman, noun, adult human female. This was taken down because it was hate speech against transgender people. No, this is not a joke. This is real. This is actually happening in the UK. This billboard was taken down by the advertising company because it was hate speech towards transgender people. Citing facts is now hate speech. War is peace. What does it say? How does the saying go? War is peace. Slavery is freedom. Facts are hate speech. Basically, that's basically what's happening now. It's right out of 1984. I don't know what to say. You should be able to have an advertisement with some fact. It's just literal facts, and it gets taken down for hate speech in the UK. This is the state we are in here in Europe right now. I mean, I don't know. My suggestion is if you're living in the UK, I think it's time to get out there. I don't think the UK is really any place to be, to say it that way. It's not any place to be at all. And I mean, consider I had this on the live stream yesterday, but in case you missed it, I'm going to put it up on screen here again now as well. I had another story here from the UK. This thing. This is the British police. So this was, I believe, from a pride parade from the British police. It's a British police officer. He's dressed up as a bee with a instead of black and yellow bee. He's wearing the rainbow the pride, the rainbow flag, and it has these ridiculous looking sunglasses on while he's wearing this bobby. How can you take the British police seriously after this? I mean, wow. These are the same guys that are arresting 9 people a day for offensive comments online. These are the same people arresting 9 people per day for offensive comments online, and they're currently actually going through a trial with Tommy Robinson for the thing that happened a while back with his court thing, and so on. Britain is turning into a joke, in my opinion. It's just going, as Chrissy here in the comment section says, it's going down the toilet. That's just like Sweden. Sweden and the UK, they are going down the toilet completely. And yeah, I don't think there's anything. I'll say this, the worst countries in Europe, the worst country, I would say, is probably Britain. And number 2 is Sweden. Number 3 is Germany, in that order, I would think. And that's why I'm currently in Norway, because Norway is a much saner country, much more. It's definitely the most conservative country in Western Europe. And I mean, you can just see that again with this shirt, as I was talking about. Here in Norway, they value preserving culture and tradition. You know, these sweaters are very popular in Norway. Everyone has them, and they have these traditional Norwegian patterns on them, traditional culture. That's why they have them here in Norway. By the way, I'm just going to say this sweater is super warm. I might have to take it off soon. It's too warm. It's just incredibly warm. It's perfect for going out like in -10 in the winter here, but it's a bit warm having inside a heated room like this. It's actually ridiculously warm, much warmer than I thought. Yeah. And yeah, Linda in the comments, by the way, says that Hungary seems safe. Correct. Yeah, it seems like Hungary is definitely one of the better countries in Europe, and Italy is going the right way as well. Italy, Hungary, Poland, Czech Republic, maybe Romania, and Norway would definitely be and maybe Denmark as well, are some of the better countries in Europe. Let's get on to the next story. Let me just find it. Oh, yes. We have a story from Sweden. that will probably make you laugh and shake your head in disbelief. This is probably some of the most stupid things I have ever seen come out from Sweden in a long time. So I'm just going to bring up the screenshot here. Just give me 1 second. Let me just give me 1 second. Actually, messing with the website is actually messing with me. Okay, let's just forget about the website. It's messing with me a little bit here. Let's just forget about that. Let's just dive into the story. Let me see if I can find another website showing this particular story. Just one moment. Okay, yeah, I think I found another site right there. The first website I was going to show was not working properly. So let me just bring another one up, and we are going on the story right now. So we have in Sweden, the popular distracted boyfriend meme is objectifying and sexist, as Swedish advertising court rules. You probably know this meme. There's a company in Sweden, a software, I think it's a web hosting company called Bahnhof. They posted this meme as a advertisement on their page, and it was reported to the Swedish advertisement discrimination, whatever it's Reklamombudsmannen, which is like a advertising standards authority kind of thing in Sweden. So this was the actual Facebook post they posted. Bahnhof, the web hosting company, using this popular meme, they had translated it. This is the boyfriend here. It says you. The girl here, it says your current workplace, and then here Bahnhof. So that basically trying to recruit you to work for Bahnhof. Your current workplace, you, Bahnhof. So they use this meme to recruit you to their work to go work for Bahnhof, this web hosting company, which is a very big company in Sweden. But some triggered SJWs reported it to the Swedish Advertising Standards Authority, and they ruled it was sexist and objectifying women, and so on and so on. I actually have a quote here. Let me see. Yes, Sweden's self-regulatory advertising watchdog, Reklamombudsmannen, has stated that the use of the meme was, quote, gender discriminatory, both due to presenting women as, quote, interchangeable and, quote, unquote, sex objects, and presenting a, quote, unquote, a stereotypical picture of men seeing women as interchangeable. This reminds me of the time when Sweden, when the Swedish government came out with an official document saying that the OK hand symbol was a Nazi or white supremacist symbol. So yes, the Swedish government actually said that in a report. I did a video about that some months back when that came out. This kind of reminds me of that kind of stupidity. It boggles the mind. I've actually got a meme that you might want to share. Just give me 1 second. I'll bring it up. Yes, here we go. I have a meme for you that you might want to share as a response to Sweden's stupidity here. Let's share this meme. Screenshot this and share this meme to. Well, it would be a real shame if you shared this meme that Sweden thought was gender discriminatory. Sweden has actual problems. Sweden has actual problems. Gang rapes, bombings, shootings, a lot of things. What do they care about? A harmless meme. That's all that they are interested in. You cannot get any more stupid than this. I mean, it's just a joke. I mean, just last week in Sweden, there was 2 terrorist attacks. Indeed, they are thinking about it in the media because, well, the Swedish media being the Swedish media didn't report on it, but there was 2 terrorist attacks in Sweden last week. A church was bombed, and a car deliberately plowed into 100 school children that were out on a walk. So a car came driving, according to the Swedish police, he deliberately tried to hit the children. Was swerving back and forth, trying to hit as many children as he could. But the children, being children, they managed to jump out of the way, and only two of them got minor injuries. So thankfully, no one was very hurt. But it actually took a whole day for the Swedish media to report on it, and still, even after 24 hours, almost nothing was in the media. I'm just going to go through some of your chats here, by the way. So let's see what you have to say, guys. I see we have quite a lively chat tonight, which I really appreciate, and I really appreciate you all guys for tuning in. Make sure to smash that like button on this video. That helps the video get more views. It helps the YouTube algorithm things, and so on. All right, let me have a look here at your chat, guys. I see we have a super chat here from Justin Carr from the UK. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, happy birthday, and he calls me a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi, but I think he's joking. He says, love your jumper. Thank you so much for the super chat, and I'm glad you like jumper. I think you can actually, if you really like these Norwegian jumpers, I believe you can buy them and get them shipped to the UK if you want. I think they are sold on, let me see, I can post a link in the chat where you can buy them if you want. Yes, I believe, I'll post a link in the chat here for you guys. So if you want one of these sweaters yourself, I believe you can buy them from this site, which I just posted in the live chat right here, Dale of Norway. That's who made this shirt. And I believe they ship them to different countries as well if you really want one of these traditional Norwegian jumpers. But thank you so much for super chat there, Justin Carr. And we also have another super chat from Josh Smith. Thank you so much for your super chat. It says, Peter, are you aware of SMACA? I don't think I am. I can Google that quickly, since you mentioned it. The Social Media Anti-Censorship Act. Yes, I think I have heard of it, but I haven't looked into it in detail. But yes, I agree very much. We need to. We talked about that yesterday, actually. In case you missed the live stream yesterday, it's you can watch it on my YouTube on replay. We had Ali Alexandron, who is actually working with the White House to legislate on laws, on ways to stop the social media censorship, and he was on my stream yesterday. We talked very much about that in detail yesterday, and some very good solutions. So I recommend you watch that video if you're into that stuff. And I agree, we definitely, something needs to be done with the social media censorship. I mean, I've been shadow banned myself. I've been banned from PayPal. I've had a real trouble gaining new followers on Twitter recently. It's almost like I have kind of a block on my Twitter. I keep just losing followers, and I regularly get messages from people saying that Twitter has automatically unfollowed them from me without their consent. So that's a very big thing. And again, thank you so much for super chats. I'll be trying to read as many chats as I can. I'm trying to do this a little bit as a ask me anything thing as well, since this is my birthday live stream, a little special event. But all super chats will be read, guaranteed, live on air, and I'll take all super chat questions will be definitely answered. But I'm going to try and answer as much as I can. But all your super chats is highly appreciated and helps me keep doing these live streams. As I said, I will be doing more of these live streams, a regular thing, talking about current events. And I'm actually getting in a green screen as well, so setting up like a proper virtual studio, so you don't have to see my ugly background here. So we can get in some nice background here with the green screen effects and all that good stuff. So that's coming soon, hopefully in the next, or maybe an episode after that, on this new PeterSweden live streams. I'm just going to go through a couple of more of your questions here, see if we have any. Oh yeah, John here asks what I have in the background here. Yeah, it's a keyboard. It's a Yamaha. I don't know which model it is. A Yamaha keyboard. And wondering what music I have in the background. I have Amazing Grace and Battle Hymn of the Republic on the notes. I don't know if we get a super chat, I might play the piano. So if we get a super chat, any amount, I'll play a song for you guys on the piano. If you get another super chat on this stream before we finish, I promise I'll play you the Battle Hymn of the Republic on my piano here for you on stream. Laura in the chat asks, what kind of cake is my favorite? I don't know. Probably Swedish cake. In Sweden, we have a cake called prinsesstårta, which is translated princess cake. I'll show you a photo and I'll make your mouth water. They're very good. There's nothing really like it in other countries. Not even in, well, I don't know. I haven't seen much of them in Norway. Maybe I have them in Norway, but these things, this is my favorite cake. Swedish prinsesstårta. They come in different colors. You can have them in pink. You can have them in green. It's basically here, as you can see on the photo here. It's a sponge cake inside, and well, you can have a little bit different fillings, but look at this pink one. This pink one is a very traditional example. You have a sponge cake in the bottom. You have some cream, some more sponge cake, strawberry jam or raspberry jam, depending on what you want. My favorite is, of course, strawberry jam. Some more sponge, and then you have some more a big layer of whipped cream on top, and then it's covered with the marzipan and sprinkled with the icing sugar, and it's also always finished with a marzipan rose. This cake is absolutely delicious. I haven't checked really if they have them here in Norway, but I bet you can get them somewhere. I hope I didn't make your mouths water too much. I see the other people in the chat here that say that also likes prinsesstårta. Also here, by the way, talking about social media censorship, I see we have a guy calling himself World War II fighter here in the chat. He says that he just checked my Twitter. Actually, I'll just bring it up. I'll bring the whole live chat up on screen. It says here, I just checked my Twitter account. I wasn't following PeterSweden, even if I subscribed previously. Twitter removes followers to people they don't like. I think you are correct. That is something I have noticed myself. It really seems suspicious. It seems like Twitter has some kind of algorithm going where they remove people from your following count for whatever reason. Probably leftist bias would be my guess. Yes, and I see people are hungry for cake now in the chat. I do not blame you. I'm actually hungry for the cake myself, looking at these pictures. And we did get another, and now I'm forced to play the piano. We got another super chat here from Freddy from Norway. He says, play the piano. Go Norway. I guess I am obliged to play the piano then, since I made a promise. I'll come to the piano in a little bit, in a little while. Give me a couple of minutes. I'll come to the piano. I'm just going to read a little bit more of your chat, then we get to the piano. And I hope I don't screw up. Yeah, it looks like you guys in the chat want me to do the piano. Yeah, I'll definitely do it. I promised, so we will do that. Yeah, we have another guy in the chat also saying that Twitter shadow bans and unfollow is a thing that Twitter is doing. Yes, it definitely seems like that is the case, unfortunately. We have a couple of more good stories to talk about, but all right, let's get to the piano. I hope I do not plague your ears with my music. Hopefully it sounds good, and I don't completely screw this up. But okay, let's give it a go, and let me just try and move the microphone a little bit closer as well. So you guys, do you hear me any better? Let's move the microphone a little bit closer so we don't miss the sound. Just see if it can stand here. Yeah, that should work. Let me know in the chat. Can you hear? Let's do a little test. Can you hear the piano? Can you hear the piano? Let me know in the chat, so if I know if I have to move my microphone or not. I think the chat is saying that you can hear the piano, so I hope you do. Let me just fix a couple of settings here, and let's get into it. We're going to do a piano with a little bit mix of a synth voice. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. Yeah, it looks like the chat can hear. So here's your song. Sorry, I can't look at the camera. It's facing the wrong way. So, all right. Let me just see if I yeah, just one moment. Let me just bring up one thing. There we go. Okay. My microphone just almost fell off the keyboard here, so apologies for that break. I just had to save my microphone, otherwise you would have a big loud crash on your end. Let's do that again. I think it should be stable. There we go. Let's try that again, shall we? Yeah, a couple of small mistakes there. I was a little bit nervous, but I hope you enjoyed that. A couple of few mistakes there. I don't know if you heard that, if the microphone picked up, but hope it did not pick it up. But a couple of mistakes there on the last bit. On the first bit, it was almost perfect. On the second bit that when I played the replay, there's a couple of few mistakes. I don't know if you picked that up, but anyway. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy that to everyone, and especially the guy who did a super chat there, Freddie, who wanted me to play the piano. If you get some more super chats, I can play some more piano if you want. I'll keep playing all night. Get enough super chats, I'll keep playing all night. Another super chat, we'll do another song. I promise. Okay, we got another super chat right away from Freddie, just as I said that. Yeah, we'll have to go back and do another song then for Freddie. Let's get a 5-minute break, and then we'll go back to another song since Freddie requested that again. I'm just gonna go through a couple of more of your questions here. Someone is asking here, since when do you play the piano? I played for quite a long time. About and so on. Yeah, let's get into the news topics. I And by the way, I see my face is getting a bit red here. That's because of this sweater here. It's so warm. It's unbelievably warm. I might have to take it off. Yeah, let's get into our next news story for tonight. Let me just bring up a tweet here on screen so we can have so you can get a feeling of what I'm talking about. So I tweeted this the other day. This morning in Sweden, so this was on Tuesday. This morning in Sweden, car deliberately plows into a group of 100 school children in Karlshamn. A woman on her way to work in Stockholm was raped. There was a shooting in Malmö. A suspicious device was thrown into the house in Norrköping, which was deemed an attempted murder. There was also another attack that happened. Let me see if I scroll down a little bit here. Yes, here. The same day, a 13-year-old child was stabbed at a school, and he was admitted to hospital. It turned out actually that the car incident, though, did not happen on Tuesday morning. That actually happened on Monday morning, but it wasn't reported on before Tuesday. It took 24 hours for the media to report on this. So this was all basically in one day in Sweden, all of this stuff. So I just thought I would bring that up in case you missed it, because I bet if you watch just the media, the mainstream media, you probably would have missed these events. It's not like they want people to know this, you know. Yeah. Oh, by the way, going back to the piano thing, I see people have requests here on what they want me to play. Yeah, they want me to play Despacito. No, I don't think so. I wanted to play Beethoven. No. Too complicated. I used to be able to play a Beethoven song, but I memorized it in muscle memory. I don't have the notes for it, so I haven't played it for months, and I completely forgotten about it. But I mean, I could practice a little bit and then get it back, but it would take me. I can't do it on stream. Oh no, thank you. Carl here in the chat says he wants me to play Bach G minor Ducato, please. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm going to skip that. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's go on to another story, and then we'll do the other piano, the next piece of piano that you wanted me to play. Actually, I have a little treat. I'll play a improvised song next time, okay? We got the super chat from Freddie from Norway. He said, well, I'll come to it in just a moment. I'll just take the next news story, and then I'll come to his super chat, and we'll do another piano for him since he requested that. All right. We have another crazy story from Sweden, of course. It never fails to disappoint with crazy, insane stories. This is actually from today, so I'm just going to bring it up on screen so you guys can have a look. Here we go. Swedish city wants to stop gang crime with coffee and sandwiches. The shopping mall Nordstan, which has long been a gathering place for criminal gangs, and this has actually been well known. There's been a lot of migrants and criminal gangs gathering at this shopping mall, assaulting people. If I remember correctly, there was a story a couple of months ago where a father was severely beaten because his son was bullied by these gangs, who went to confront them, and he was severely beaten and put in hospital because of it in this very place. Social and law enforcement agencies have agreed to buy a coffee bus, so a food truck basically, where the criminal youths will be offered a cup of coffee as an option to their usual activities of robbery, theft, and drug dealing, and I will add bombings and shootings. As you know, there was 200 bombings in Sweden last year in 2017. In addition to serving coffee, the bus will also function as a base to build relationships with the criminal migrants. The hope is that the relationship building will help influence the youths with advisory and motivated talks. The bus will primarily be up and running in evenings and nights during the weekends and ambulate in a number of messy places in Gothenburg. One of the founders, Emma Forsett, says the philosophy behind the project is, quote, satisfied people or calmer people. With a hot cup of coffee and a sandwich in the stomach, it is believed that the inclination to commit crimes will decrease among the individuals in the target group. I don't know about this project. It kind of seems a bit crazy to me. So basically what they're saying is, these criminal gangs, you know, they're running around throwing hand grenades, bombings, shootings, automatic machine guns, dealing drugs, raping people, on and on and on, and whatever crimes they're committing. So the Swedish government has a solution. By the way, just let me adjust the camera. I think it's a little bit too high. There we go. That's better, I think. Yeah. So the Swedish government has a solution. They're going to put out a food truck and hand out free coffee and sandwiches to the migrants. That will surely teach them. They are never going to commit crimes again. It will surely stop the crime. Of course it will. This is about as sane as the policy they had the last year when the Swedish government suggested a hand grenade amnesty where criminal gangs could hand in their hand grenades in an amnesty for free, with no consequences to get rid of the hand grenades from the streets. It's about as stupid as that. I don't know what to say. I'll just see what the chat has to say. I bet we have a lot of good comments here. Will they sell grenades on the bus? Asks William. Winston says caffeine helps them to burn cars all night long. He has a point. You know, the caffeine and the coffee, that probably help the migrants, it probably help the criminal gangs keep awake so they can, you know, have more energy to burn cars. I mean, it's just biggest face palm ever. We have a guy from, I think he's from Denmark or maybe Norway. John Doe says, Sweden, now I am a very disappointment. It doesn't work, you know. I think he might be Danish. I'm not sure. Kjetil wants me to play Handel. I cannot. No, sorry, I'm not that good. Oh. Okay. Let's get to the piano. We had this story. Let's get to the piano. We got the super chat here from Freddy Bebe, again from Norway. He says, you better practice more, buddy. Lol, no, it was not the worst I've heard. Commenting on my earlier piano playing. Thank you so much. But I'll play another song for you since I promised for every super chat we will play another song on the piano. So we're going to play another song. We also got another super chat here from a Swedish guy as well who wants me to play a song. He wants me to play the Swedish national anthem. Unfortunately, I don't know how to play that. I don't have the sheet notes and everything. I haven't practiced on it, so I can't play it. But I'll first play an improvised song for Freddie here because we promised we'll play a song for every super chat we got. We are shilling for super chats tonight with piano. All right, let's hope I don't disappoint your ears this time, and let's do a little improvised original song this time. Hopefully I don't mess this up. There we go. Let me know if you can hear. I think you should be able to hear the piano again. I'm just going to change the settings a little bit. Let's see what sound we want to have this time. We're going to go with an electric piano. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, let's go. Actually, let's change the sound a little bit. I want a more deeper voice. This electric piano is a little bit sharp for what I want to get. That's better. A little more smoother electric piano. Okay, let's do a little bit improvisation. This is an original song. I kind of improvised a little bit. Let's see how this goes. Let's try it again. It's just a warm-up, okay. I hope I didn't plague your ears too much about that, but that was a little bit of an improvised song. A few mistakes. I'm so sweaty on my hands, and the keys are so small on this. The keys are not the best on this keyboard. It's like this is more like a synth kind of keyboard thing, so it's not meant to play proper piano on in the same way. And I'm very sweaty on my fingers. My fingers slip a little bit, so I get this. I hit the wrong keys sometimes, especially when I'm sweaty on my fingers like I'm now. I'm getting so many requests for songs here, guys. I mean, we're never gonna finish in time. Oh, sorry. The guy I said was Danish before, John Doe in the chat. He's very upset with me right now. He says he is not Danish. He's Norwegian, I think. I think he's Norwegian. So apologies for that. He's not happy I called it Norwegian Danish. All right. Soviet anthem. Oh, we are getting flooded with super chats here now. Not that I'm complaining, but now I have to play so much piano. Yeah, maybe we should do that more. Promise piano every time, and we get flooded with super chats. But thank you so much. Nothing to complain about at all. But let's get into next story. Then we go to another super chat. Yeah, let's have a look at our next story tonight, which also is Sweden again. I'm gonna bring up a photo here on screen so you guys can have a look. There we go. Swedish media and churches cover up, quote, jihad against Christian place of worship because it could shock the public. Here's a photo of a church in Sweden. It has been vandalized, spray painted with the words here. It's in Swedish. It says, quote, death or kill. And then we have another word here, as we probably recognize. It has the word, quote here, jihad, spray painted on the church. This is in the town of Skellefteå. It was vandalized, and the church representative just brushed off the threats as innocent vandalism after admitting that this was not the first incident of hatred towards Christian church in the area. According to local newspapers, the police are aware of the incident and claim they're particularly concerned about hate attacks against Christian churches. So the police in Sweden now are actually say that they're particularly concerned about hate attacks against Christians in Sweden. The anti-Christian vandalism has been absent from almost all Swedish media, in what one can only guess is an effort to maintain political correctness. Yeah, I mean, that's quite funny. And they bring up an interesting case here. There was another church in May. Another church was vandalized with the word jihad written on it, spray painted. And photos were actually initially published on the Swedish national broadcaster SVT. But they actually took down the images shortly after because it was deemed, quote unquote, too sensitive for the public to see. And the same church also said that the bishops in the church and so on, the representatives, they just say that this was they explained away the anti-Christian vandalism by saying that the word jihad was a common doodle. I mean, not even the bishops in the church in Sweden cares about what's happening. They are the people that are supposed to care the most, you would think. But yeah, and as you know, just the other week, another church was actually bombed in the city of Södertälje. A Syrian Orthodox church, in fact, was bombed. So you can only guess it's probably other people from Syria or maybe Iraq that would have done that, I would assume, or you could guess, do an educated guess. Yeah, that was we have a couple of more stories to go, but let's get into the super chat here again with some more piano. Omega Reviews from Sweden. Thank you so much for super chat. He says in Swedish, he wants me to play the Swedish national anthem, please. Unfortunately, I don't have the sheets for it. I don't know. I don't have it memorized in muscle memory, so I cannot play the Swedish national anthem. I'm sure I could if I had the sheets for it and everything, but I unfortunately don't, so I cannot play it on the piano, unfortunately. But we can play something else. Let's play Amazing Grace for you instead. Okay, let's set this up and play another song, because the chat really seems to demand songs tonight. Okay. I actually only have 2 songs on these sheets, and that is Amazing Grace and the Battle Hymn. So we're going to have to improvise a little bit, I think. If we're going to have to play more songs, I'm going to pressure my piano skills to the limit. What kind of instrument would go nice with Amazing Grace? I think a combination of piano and violin would be very nice for this. So are you hyped in the chat, guys? I think we are. I see Omega says that he noticed the SUPERCHAT is 50-minute delayed. It's actually not 50-minute delayed. I just didn't have time to get to the chats before now. It's more or less live, the SUPERCHATs. So let's play the piano for you, for your super chat there. You want me to play the Swedish national anthem? Unfortunately, I cannot play it. I mean, I should probably memorize it by now, but I haven't. So let's just do Amazing Grace instead, since we have that all covered. And hopefully I don't make too many mistakes. Messed up one bit there. Let's start again from there and then play another over again. messed up a little bit there at the end of the first one there, but the replay I thought was pretty okay. All right. Let's get on to the next. Let's get on to the next story. By the way, I see we have in the chat here. I think I should change the super chat for me to answer questions instead of playing the piano. Yeah, I think we're going. I think we might have to change that for now, so we get this finished. I think I have actually. I think I have played for everyone as well now, so I think we are up to pace. So I think we'll change the super chat format to questions instead. So we're going an hour now. The plan was about to finish the stream right about now, but we're going to continue a little bit over time, I think. We're going to change the format a little bit for the super chats to any questions, and if you have any special questions. And actually, I'll still do the piano, but only for super chats above £10 or $10. So we're going to have to up the price a little bit. My piano, this is how capitalism works, folks. I get too many requests. I need to increase my price. Little bit of a joke, but yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And we have another super chat, by the way, from Smegma, £5. Luckily, he didn't request a song, so I hope you don't mind me not playing a song for this one. He says, happy birthday from Scotland and the rest of UK. Thank you so much for the super chat. And also another one from Freddie as well, says, actually pretty nice flow, well done. Thank you so much thank you so much for nice comments. I owe my piano skills to my mother, I would say. She is quite good. She actually used to play in clarinet in Norway in a band when she was young, and she was actually I think she was in the finals in like the Norwegian Cup for like best band, and she was playing the clarinet in there. So that's where I get my music from. But anyway, thank you so much for super chat, everyone. And if you have any questions, again, all super chats will be read live, and I'm also going to try and get to some of your other chats here as well. So let's get on to some more of our stories, by the way, and we're going to wrap this up in a little bit. But we have some more stories here from Sweden, which actually is some very interesting story indeed, which has to do with the Swedish elections. You're not going to want to miss this at all. I'm just going to see if I can find up a article about this, so you can have a look at what this is about. So some of you, well, most of you have probably heard about the Trilateral Commission. If you're into any of this stuff, you've probably heard about the Trilateral Commission. If you don't know, the Trilateral Commission is a commission that was set up in 1974 by David Rockefeller. And basically it's a globalist, deep state organization. That's basically what it is. It's the globalist elite. This is the globalist elite that we're talking about right here. So what does this have to do with the story? It actually has a lot to do with the Swedish election, because in case you don't know, there is in case you didn't know, there was a Swedish election a couple of weeks ago, and we have a person in Sweden, a politician. I'll bring up her picture right now on screen. Annie Lööf. Here she is. She is the politician. She is a leader for the Center Party in Sweden. The Center Party, they got about, what was it, around 8-9% of the votes, I think, something like that. They call themselves the Center Party, and they are, well, a Center Party in theory. In my opinion, they are probably far left. but she is the leader, at least, for the Center Party. And she has today in Sweden, it has been revealed that she is a secret member of the Trilateral Commission. This is not a joke. She was ousted today in Swedish media, in Swedish mainstream media, that she is actually a secret member. She has been a secret member for a long time in the Trilateral Commission that was started by David Rockefeller himself. Not only that, she actually went to the Bilderberg meeting this summer. The Bilderberg meeting, where all of the top politicians, the bankers, the CEOs of bankers, CEOs of Shell, of tech companies, of Google. Eric Schmidt of Google is one of the leaders of the Bilderberg group. He's on the chair, I believe. The Bilderberg. Annie Lööf, she actually went to the Bilderberg meeting this year, and it's very strange because the Bilderberg has produced a lot of world leaders. When you look at, for example, Tony Blair, just a couple of years before Tony Blair became the Prime Minister in the UK, he visited the Bilderberg meeting. There's been many other such cases. I can't remember from the top of my head. I believe Barack Obama was one of them. He went to Bilderberg, he became president. I think he was. I'm not 100% sure, but there's been many, many cases of people going there and then become presidents, prime ministers, and so on. But she, Annie Lööf, she has been exposed as being a secret member of the Trilateral Commission. And according to other people in Sweden who are actually speaking to the mainstream media, this makes her very unsuitable to be the prime minister, because they're actually now talking that she might actually become the next prime minister in Sweden, the way things are working out. Because the leftist socialist bloc and the right-wing bloc, they are right-wing, the center-right, really. In my opinion, you have the far left bloc and you have the left-wing bloc, basically. They call themselves like center-right, whatever, but they are working together to keep the right-wing Swedish Democrats out of power. And the way this works is that this lady, Annie Lööf, might actually become the next prime minister of Sweden. There is actually a possibility. Experts are talking about it, that it might actually be a possibility that Annie Lööf will become the next prime minister. She's going to Bilderberg. She's a secret member of the Trilateral Commission. She went to Bilderberg this summer, and she might become prime minister this year. That would be a very suspicious coincidence if that did happen. Let's just read a little bit about Trilateral Commission here. Here we go. It's a globalist organization. It has actually been accused of in the past to commit and to have an anti-democratic agenda. They want to work to kind of they're working to kind of brainwash children in schools. All of this bad stuff. And we have another super chat here from Omega Reviews from Sweden as well. He brings up a very good point here. Thank you so much for super chat again, Omega. I really appreciate it. He brings up here what Annie Lööf actually said. I don't remember exactly when it was. It was a little while back. Annie Lööf, she said, quote, "It's illegal to be a criminal in Sweden." She said this live on TV. It's illegal to be a criminal in Sweden when talking about, I think she was talking about criminal gangs and all these crimes happening in Sweden, all these rapes. And her comment was, "It's illegal to be a criminal in Sweden." That was her comment. Sounds like a very qualified person to become prime minister, if you ask me. Not. She is also actually said in the past, and I'm not kidding you, she has said in the past, Annie Lööf has said in the past, that she would want to take in 30 million more migrants to Sweden, and I'm not making this up. She said that she had no problem taking in 30 million more migrants in Sweden. Like, imagine what that would do to Sweden. Like, Sweden is already set to become Swedes are already set to become minority in their own country. 30 million more migrants, Sweden would basically be deleted from the earth. Sweden would not exist anymore as a country. Sweden would be gone. And this is what she wants. And she's a Bilderberger. She's in the Trilateral Commission. She is a globalist elite. Annie Lööf, she is a globalist elite. There, I said it. She's also what she has done. Also, what she has done is she has been very much behind a new law, which I was actually going to talk about as well, as leading up to the story. Annie Lööf, she has actually talked about. Oh, okay. Omega Reviews is actually correcting me here in the chat. Annie Lööf actually said 40 million migrants, not 30 apparently. 40 million more migrants. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, so not 30 million, but actually 40 million apparently, according to Omega Reviews in the chat, if he is correct about that, which he probably is. I remember it as 30, it might have been 40. Whatever, who cares? 30, 40 million, who cares? It's about the same. Well, it would still destroy Sweden in any case, but yeah, she is actually very much responsible for a new amnesty in Sweden. So in case you don't know, the Swedish government went through a amnesty that only went through because of support from Annie Lööf and the Center Party. She was responsible for this going through because the center-right parties, they were opposed to it. The left-wing parties wanted this new law, and the Center Party that were in the center-right coalition, they actually abandoned the center-right coalition and voted together with the socialists in order to get this through and help them. So Sweden, they voted for a new policy which gives amnesty to 9,000 migrants from Afghanistan, illegal migrants that is, migrants that have actually been denied asylum in Sweden. So, you have a loads of people that have already gotten asylum in Sweden, but here you have 9,000 migrants that have actually been denied asylum. You have hundreds of thousands that have been accepted asylum, but you have 9,000 here now that has been denied asylum. So what do? They go and give these migrants amnesty. And many of these are, I don't know, 20, 21, 22 years old, whatever. Not only that they are giving them amnesty to stay in Sweden, they are using taxpayers' money to give them free college, free education, free college, several years of free college. If I remember correctly, I believe the cost to that was around, either it was $30 million or it was $300 million or somewhere in that region. I cannot remember. I had it all written down before. I had it on my Twitter somewhere. I cannot remember the exact figure anymore. I should have brought it up, but it's in the millions of dollars, 50 million, somewhere between 30 and $300 million, somewhere. I think it was actually. I think I remember the figure in Swedish. Let me see if I can figure that out for you. Just one moment. Here we go. Yes, yeah, I have the figure now. It was 2 billion Swedish kronors, the cost, which is about $230 million US, to a cost of 238 actually, so almost 240 million US. It's going to cost the Swedish taxpayer to give amnesty to 9,000 illegal migrants who have previously been denied asylum but are now getting an amnesty. And the thing was that the Swedish courts actually thought that this was crazy, and they actually decided that they were going to stop this new law. But it has now recently, just a couple of days ago, it's gone through higher courts, and the higher court has eventually ruled that, surprise, surprise, this law is illegal and it is going to be accepted. So that's that. We have another 9,000 migrants from Afghanistan, another $240 million US being spent on migrants, which could have been spent on Swedes who have worked their whole lives, because this is the last story I have for today, by the way. Sweden is now looking to increase the pension age from, I think, 65 years now, I believe, up to 70. So Swedes that are in around 30 years old now, so people are around my age, we will be expected to work until we are 70 years old before we will get any state pension. Hooray! All but so that we can, we have to sit and work longer now to support, these 9,000 Afghans getting their free college education. It's absolutely perfect. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Yeah. And that was actually all the stories I had for today. So I'm going to finish off. We had a lot of good super chats here. I want to thank everyone who's been using the super chat. I really appreciate it, and it helps me keep going, because, as you know, I'm actually 100% fan funded by you guys. I was doxxed and so on last year, so I'm 100% fan funded. So I really appreciate all your super chats and all of your Patreon supporters as well. If you're watching the stream, I know there's quite a few of you, so thank you very much, everyone. And I'll actually dedicate this. I'll just do a couple of last minutes here, just going through your chat, seeing if you have any good questions. Again, all super chats will guarantee be read. I'm just going to see if we have some more chats here as well that we're going to have a look at here before we wrap this live stream up. It's been a good stream, I think. Me asks if I'm in Sweden or Norway. I'm in Norway. A guy with the nickname 112X asks if it's my birthday today. Yes, it is my birthday today, and he's also 28 himself today. Congratulations on your birthday as well, 112X, wherever you are. And happy birthday to you too. A comment here on from Laura here on the 30-40 million. Says, once you're over 20 million, what's another 10 million? Correct. Yeah, I mean, once you're a big minority in your own country, what's another 10-20 million people? Who cares? It's not going to make much difference, will it? Okay, here's a good question we have from Kurt Hanneman. He has a question here asking, under what visa could you move to Norway? That depends on which country you are from. If you want to type in the chat which country you're from, I could more easily help Kurt with that question. Because if you are from the EU, you can basically move to the EU and Britain, and you can just basically move to Norway as if it was another EU country. You can just move as you please, basically, from the EU, from Europe. From other countries, there would have to be more complicated things. For example, in Norway, they are introducing language tests and citizenship tests and so on. So yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to start wrapping this up. It's getting late here where I am, so I'm going to have to start wrapping this up. I think we'll wrap this up here. Yeah, we'll wrap this up here, I think. I've really enjoyed this stream with you guys, this birthday stream. I know probably a lot of you couldn't tune in because you're watching the Kavanaugh thing happening right now. So I'm competing with that, which is not an easy thing to compete with. But at least we had about 100 viewers on average here, I see on this stream, which is not bad for competing with Kavanaugh. Hopefully we can grow this and get this into bigger. I want 500, 1,000 viewers in a little while. So yeah, we need a little more, as me says, we need a little bit more in the chat. But I think the chat has been absolutely great today. I've really been enjoying the chat today. You've been a very, very, very good chat tonight. So I really appreciate you all for tuning in. Actually, we got the last minute super chat here again from Omega from Sweden. So we're gonna answer that question. He asks, have you watched the documentary of the socialist Democrats in Sweden, of their history? I have done that, yes. So in case you don't, let's talk a little bit about that then before we finish. So before the election, the Swedish Democrats produced a documentary that I highly recommend that you watch. Let me see if I can bring it up actually on screen. It's on YouTube. It was actually temporarily censored on YouTube, but they quickly reinstated that after complaints after it was a little bit embarrassing. But let me see if I can find a documentary here so we can... Yes, here we have it. Just one moment. Here we go. I don't know if they have English subtitles. I think they do. I'm going to double check for you. So we have this documentary right here. It's called Ett folk, ett parti, Socialdemokraternas historia, which translated means one folk, one party, the history of the Socialist Democrats. It's produced by the Swedish Democrats, the right-wing party. It does have Swedish texting. It does have English texting. Good news. So everyone, go and watch this documentary, please. This is a very, very good documentary. I highly recommend it. It's a very good documentary talking about the history of what actually happened in Sweden. I'll leave a link in the chat so you guys can watch it whenever you want. Here's the link in the chat here for this documentary. I highly recommend everyone watch it. It's a documentary basically talking about the very dark history of the Socialist Democrats in Sweden. And the thing is, it's very dark. The Socialist Democrats, basically, they were best buddies with the Nazis. They were very good buddies with the Nazis back in the 30s and 40s. In fact, the Socialist Democrat Party, which actually again won the election, they were the biggest party this latest election in Sweden, so it's the same party. In the 30s, they actually arrested Swedish journalists that were criticizing Hitler. So Swedish journalists who were criticizing Hitler, they arrested them and they censored it because they were buddies with them. And when the Norwegian king, and this is all talked about in this documentary in detail, and it also talks about how the Socialist Democrats were actually practicing eugenics and something that they call the racial biology. So they were measuring. They said that some Swedes weren't Aryan enough and all that nonsense. In fact, they thought people from northern Sweden, the Sami people and more people from northern Sweden, they thought that they were, quote, less superior than more southern Swedes. And the thing is, the reason I thought that is because the people more in southern Sweden, they are more related to the Germans. Whereas the people up in northern Sweden, they're kind of more related to the kind of Sami, Slavic, Finnish kind of people. And the part of me that's Swedish, I'm actually, the Swedish part of me is actually up from northern Sweden. So, hello, Socialist Democrats. I might have a reason not to like them. They actually, I believe they sterilized people and so on. And they were doing all kinds of really racist stuff, really. But anyway, and they also talk about this in detail in the documentary. And they also talk about how and this might actually come to a shock. They actually helped the German soldiers. They helped transport them on train through Sweden over to Norway. And they actually, get this, Sweden, the Socialist Democrats, they helped the Nazi occupiers in Germany. They let them transport Norwegian prisoners by train through Sweden to the concentration camps. The Norwegians were very, 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 very angry at the Swedes because of that. And probably because of that, a lot of Norwegians have actually been quite hateful towards Swedes after the war. You still get that today, Norwegians that hate Swedes. Probably comes from that, I would guess, partly. But and also the Socialist Democrats, when the Norwegian king was fleeing occupied Norway, so Norway had just been occupied by the Nazis. The Norwegian king was fleeing. He wanted to flee to Britain. So he wanted to actually go through Sweden, which was a supposedly neutral country. He was to go through Sweden. So he contacted Sweden and said, hey, I want to go through Sweden in order to get on a boat and head over to Britain. Guess what happened? the Socialist Democrats were plotting to arrest the Norwegian king and hand him over to the Nazis. And this is all talked about in the documentary. Thankfully, the Norwegian king got to know about this and actually managed to go to the west coast in Norway instead and disguise himself and hop on a boat and flee to Britain and kind of lead the resistance from Britain that way. Yeah, and this is the Socialist Democrats. They have kind of a Nazi history, to say it that way. So that's all that's talked about in detail in this documentary. That actually has English subtitles. So again, watch this documentary. I have the link in the chat here again for you guys right now, the YouTube link. Highly recommend you go and watch that. It's a very good documentary. So yeah, that was what the super chat was about. So thank you so much for that super chat, Omega Reviews. I think we're gonna wrap that up here. I'm getting a bit tired. My mouth is getting very dry. I cannot talk much more before my voice is going to crack. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this up here. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone, and make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and again, thank you so much who joined, and thank you for all the super chats. And we will see you next time. I will be uploading a regular video quite shortly, actually, probably tomorrow or the day after that. But we're going to continue with these live streams. I don't know exactly which days we will be doing them, but it will always be at the same time. We will be doing them at 10 p.m. Norwegian time, which is 9 p.m. UK time. I don't know what time that is in the US, but I guess you can figure that out yourselves wherever you are living. So we will be doing these live streams regularly at 10 p.m. Norwegian time, so make sure you don't miss them. We are going to have a lot of interesting things to talk about. Again, I don't know exactly which days it will be yet, but it will be a regular occurrence. We will definitely be. We will be on Sunday. Sunday this week, we are going to be doing another live stream. I know that for sure. We might get another one in between, but on Sunday, make sure to come back on Sunday. Tune in on Sunday at 10 p.m. Norwegian time, so same time as today, basically. On Sunday, we will begin going over the latest news. And I will have my special guest with me as well, Steve Franson, who has been on with me before. So we will be back on Sunday, definitely. So make sure you don't miss that one. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. And we'll definitely see you on Sunday. So goodbye.